keep getting these SD card errors on this thing, and I'm assuming it's because my SD card is about to kill itself or take a dump. I was going to try to talk to you guys about why I chose the Camaro, and basically it's because I couldn't afford anything else. I took in like 3 factors into account when I was going to buy a car, and that was I needed 3 things when I was buying a car. I decided that I needed 3 things. It was a manual transmission, a V8. Actually, I guess I only decided it needed to be kind of quick, you know. After having the paddle shifters BMW, I decided that I didn't want anything in automatic anymore. So I switched away from that. I had to have manual transmission. I had to. Couldn't do anything else. Couldn't do manual yet. I had to do manual. I couldn't do semi-automatic anymore. I just couldn't. And that was kind of the deciding factor, I guess, as far as like why I chose the Camaro. It wasn't like I didn't want the Mustang. A lot of people ask why I didn't get a Mustang, because I guess Mustang is what everyone wants. And truth be told, the Camaro doesn't really hold any specific place in my heart. At least it didn't before I bought it. You know, like I didn't think that the Mustangs were worse or better than the Camaros, and I didn't think that Camaros were better or worse than the Mustangs. As a matter of fact, I thought the Camaros were kind of ugly as fuck. And the regular SS packages and RS packages, it's true. But that's why I like the 1LE packages in the Z28. Is because it's not like an ugly regular SS. What the fuck is this guy driving? You guys know I'm gonna do a little bit of getting on it. I have to. This shit's flying around. Fire department's right here. Better take it easy. Shit is just, I know, there's so much shit. There's like presents for my dad back here and shit. I can't. Don't want to get on it too hard because like it's all gonna go flopping around. Like I said, truth be told, there was never any real reason why I chose the Camaro over the Mustang. Basically, it was what I could afford at the time. Really, I wasn't gonna get an older Mustang because I didn't like the older Mustangs as much. I like the newer Mustangs a little bit better, I guess. I guess it doesn't really matter. But I wanted to buy a newer Mustang, you know, since it's available, and I just couldn't afford it. They were like, I think the base model price for the GTs when I bought this car were like 40 grand, and I just couldn't pull it off, so I didn't. I ended up getting a steal for this Camaro. Out the it was listed as like 30 or something like that. Out the door, ended up paying like 32 or something like that. It was listed as like 33. At the door, I paid, I think 30, like with dealership fees and everything like that. So I got a pretty good deal on it for a 2013 1LE with 20,000 miles on it. All the recall work already done on it because GM. But to me, it wasn't about like what's better. It's about what I liked and what I could afford. And it's not like I knew anything about the Camaro or LS motors before I bought it. I didn't know what LS motors were before I bought it because I don't learn about cars until I really own them. The last Chevrolet vehicle that I owned was a 72 Camaro that had a 454 swap in it. And that's not an LS motor. It's just a big ass carbureted V8 that Chevy makes. So that's kind of all I really knew about Camaros, I guess, in general, was that they had big ass V8 motors in it. And then after I bought the Camaro, I started really researching like the Chevy's LS series and V8s and how much horsepower that this car can handle, and like learned about camshafts and stuff like that because it was available to me, and I cared. I gave a fuck, basically. But before then, I didn't give a fuck about LS motors or Chevys or this, that, and the other. They give a shit. And I'm glad I ended up getting the Camaro, I guess, now over the Mustang, is just because to me now it's all about sound. Like, yeah, the car's fast. It's got a big ass V8 in it, but it sounds awesome. That 6.2 liter. especially with that cam in it. Let's see if I can roll the window down. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the Mustangs sound good. The Mustangs are fast, they're quick, and they sound good. It's a V8. But man, now that I know, there's nothing that can really compare to like a pushrod V8 the way it sounds. It's really hard for me anyway. I guess it's really all I care about right now. I mean, yeah, I'm pushing 500 horsepower almost right now to the wheels. I'm close. And that's naturally aspirated, which is, it's a big feat, I guess, for 500 naturally aspirated horsepower. It's great. I'm taking my time with these shifts just so I can ride out the gears a little bit. I like the way it sounds. But to me, that 5.0 just doesn't sound as good as a bigger LS motor, especially the LS7. The LS7 to me is probably the best sounding motor in person. And like, yeah, I guess you could get into like the Lamborghinis and stuff like that. The Mercedes-Benz AMG 6.2, can't remember which model, I think it's a C63. They put that 6.2 liter in there. That thing sounds fucking ridiculous. For me anyway, you have to start really pushing into like supercar money before you can start getting an engine that sounds as good as, let's say, please come on my way, please. Like I said, that Mercedes-Benz 6.2 liter sounds fucking incredible. That was a train horn. And to me, you can't, for the same amount of money, you can't get that sound. It's my personal opinion. Like I said, it's not about me liking Chevrolets more than Mustangs or this, that, and the other. It's about just what I like. And I ended up liking the Camaro a lot more than I thought I was going to. Honestly, it's exactly what I wanted in a car. A big, muscly V8, like a big-ass V8, you know? And, you know, it's a 380 something, 389, 387. It's like a really weird number. It's not a big block, but it's huge with today's standards. You know, you look at all the other muscle cars, and, you know, I think Dodge, I think their Challengers are 6.2s, I think, as well. I mean, you just can't beat like a big muscly V8. Nothing, there is no replacement for displacement as far as I'm concerned. But that's, like I said, this is all personal preference. I'm not saying the Camaro is better than a Mustang. I looked at a lot of different cars before I bought this one that, as far as I could, three things that I looked at were manual transmissions, V8, and how fast they can go. And the fastest car I could afford with both of those features, the V8 and the 6-speed, was this like 2004 Z06, but it had like 80,000 miles on it. It looked kind of ragged. It was about $6 grand cheaper than this car right here. I got a bunch of people staring me down now. What's going on, man?
Recognize that car anywhere.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, you already know. You already know.
I was actually just doing like a little douchey vlog right now.
Really?
Yeah.
The everyday vlog.
Yeah, they're trying to keep up the everyday vlog. All right, I'm done with the gym. Basic workout. I'm sure I look like absolute shit like I always do. Especially after the gym, and I haven't shaved in like 2 days, so it's like all fucking Joe Dirt right here. Another reason I'm glad I took the Camaro today is because it's raining now. Well, kinda. It's like drizzling, and that's like the worst weather to ride in on a bike, is when it just starts raining, because that's when the oil and the water start to separate on the road. So the oil like creates its own layer and it becomes extra slippery. It's better to ride after it's been raining for a minute, to be honest. That's really the main reason why I'm happy I got the Camaro over the Mustang, is just because of the sound. Like, yeah, power's great. Technically, the Mustang and the Camaro make the same amount of power. Really, it's the Camaro weighs like a shit ton more. It's like a couple 100 pounds more than what the Mustang weighs. But what's awesome is like the 0 to 60 time on the 1LE is stock is ridiculous. It's stock on the 1LE has been reported as low as 4.2, I believe. I think Motor Trend, they got it up to like 4.3. So that's in-house testing. That's not reading off of it at 0 to 60 times.com, which I think is also 4.2. But Motor Trend got it down to 4.3, and that's with stock tires. I bet with some sticky tires on your stock car, you could easily do 4.2, 4.1 all day long. So I'm guessing with the cam and with the tune and the headers and some really sticky tires, I could be looking at like 3.9. Like to be 3.8 maybe. That's kind of pushing it. But that's 100 horsepower over stock, basically. I think this car, yeah, that's 100 horsepower over stock. This car's stock dyno's at about 380 to the wheels. And right now dyno's 480 to the wheels with 442 foot-pounds of torque. So 100 more horsepower, that should equivalent to about 0.2 seconds off, maybe 0.3 seconds off. I could see that. Then here's where people will tell me how Mustangs are better than Camaros. And then that's where also 90% of the comments will be trolls just because I said it. So realistically, I wanted to get the Camaro just because it's what I could afford with what I wanted, and I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I got it over the Mustang. That's coming from a guy who's not owned a Mustang though. When I look at it now, I look at the lines of the Camaro, and I look at the sound, and I look at the package that I have, and I look at the color. I enjoy this visually and audibly. Is that a real word? Audibly? I enjoy the sound and the visual of this car better than the new Mustangs. It's not because I'm a Chevy fan, and it's not because I hate Mustangs. It's just because of my personal preference. It's not a Chevy versus Ford thing to me. It's what I like versus what I don't like. And I'm not saying I don't like the new Mustangs. I'm just saying that I'm a fan of this better. I like this a little bit more. Another thing, and a lot of people might disagree with me on this one, but the interior of the Mustangs has always felt kind of cheap. Someone said that it's because to save weight, which is cool and all, but like, I don't really know about all that. Honestly, I like the way the Camaro's interior feels a lot more than the Mustangs. It feels better put together. It feels better put together. It feels sharper. It just feels like more time was put into it. It just feels better to me personally. The Mustang has like this weird, just like cheapy plastic, and I'm not saying that the interior of the Camaro doesn't have some cheapy plastic bits. It certainly does, but the quality of them feel better. I think that's what it is to me, is that the quality feels better. Plus, I really like the wrapped steering wheel and whatever like satin this is. I like that. And this isn't me trying to like persuade you. This is just me telling you reasons why I bought the Camaro over anything else. I was done with BMW. I did not want to buy another BMW after my BMW, just because, like, been there, done that, kind of, you know. I've never owned a modern muscle car, so I wanted to own a modern muscle car, and it's actually what I've been wanting to own for a while now, and I like it. Really, the only thing that's stopping me from going fast right now is the tires. These tires suck dick. I forget what they are. I think they're like something super sports or something along those lines, but they're 500 treadwear, which are basically Prius tires. What I need to be doing is buying some like sticky NTO5s by Nittos. I think that's actually what I'm going to get, the NTO5s or the NTO5S, is it? That's what I'm going to be investing in soon, is new tires, and then eventually a supercharger, and that'll be done. I'll get a supercharger. I'll be shooting for 650 horsepower to the wheel, somewhere around that ballpark, which is easily achievable at the point where I'm at now, where I'm basically at 500 horsepower to the wheels. So sticky tires plus supercharger plus, you know, little accents here and there on the car, like little body mods and shit that I can get. It's not gonna look super ricey or fucking like I'm a 6-year-old dude just getting into cars. Like, oh yeah, these chrome stick-on badges look great. So that's basically why I bought the Camaro. One, I could afford it. Two, it's a V8. That's what I wanted. I just wanted the sound of a V8. Basically, is why I wanted the V8. It's not about power to me. And it's a manual. It's a manual transmission. That is literally the only reason why I bought the Camaro, is just because it was affordable and it had what I wanted in it. And I ended up liking it for a lot more. Ended up liking it a lot more than I thought I was gonna like it. And I'm super happy with my choice to buy the Camaro. And I think at this point, the only thing that I would trade this car out for right now would possibly be a 2011 Z06, or that same year model, you know, the same body style. I think they continued that body style up into 2013, 2014. I don't remember. That body style Corvette right before the C7s came out, the C6 body style basically, or the Z06 C6 body style, are the only Corvette that I'd probably trade it out for right now. Just because I really have a soft spot in my head, not my heart, but my head for the LS7. Even though it has that whole like valve drop thing, which they make a billion kits out there to fix the issue. So yeah, the Corvette C6 Z06 would be the one that I would trade it out for. Just because I love the way it looks, I love the way it sounds, I love everything about that car. And that'd be the only car I'd trade it out for. That or a CTSV wagon with a 6-speed manual. That's my only other exception. I love the CTSV wagon. I don't know why I like the wagon better than I like the regular CTSV, but I do. And I think it's because the fact that they're hard to get is why I like them so much, and the fact that they're supercharged. That probably has something to do with it. People are driving like fucking dicks right now, and not in a cool way. But those Corvettes, to me, look the best. I like the new Z06 or 7 or whatever the C7 is. I like the Stingray a lot. But not that much. Not $100,000 much. And I don't have $100,000 to spend on a car. I don't have $100,000. A lot of people are asking me to also race the Camaro against the GTR, which is just absolutely absurd. We both know the end result of that. Is that I will get fucking walked on so hard, because Andrew and I have kind of already done that. On one day we got next to each other and did like a 60 roll or something like that, and he pretty much walked me the same way I walked him with my bike. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me even a little bit. He's buying a Viper soon, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. He's gonna buy a white Viper, and I can't wait to run that against the CBR. That'll be exciting. I hope you guys are liking the daily vlogs. I know I'm seeing that they're getting a little less views than normal, but I'm assuming that's just because I'm uploading a video literally every day. I'm sure that gets old. I'm sure that gets real old. But you know, this is kind of like my way of taking a vacation at the same time of like still doing my job at the same time. You know, I enjoy making videos. I really do. Even if I were to win the lottery tomorrow and become a multi-millionaire or a billionaire, I would still make YouTube videos. It'd probably be a little bit less, just because I'd be so engulfed in like doing things and buying things. But I would still make videos because it's what I love to do. Like, this is honestly the best job in the world. And I hope I'm not aggravating everyone with the videos every day, or if I know I'm not doing my usual stuff, but I try to keep my channel inconsistent for a reason, because it's always kind of like interesting, I guess. I don't like consistency because consistency becomes boring. You know, I kind of like it that I have to sometimes wait 2 or 3 days to upload a video, because then you guys are like, Dan, when's the next video? You know, you guys want to see it, and that makes me feel good. I like it. I like knowing that people like to watch me, and I still remain #1 right now for a couple more weeks. Jake and 6 Foot are having this passing contest. But I'll see you guys later. Also, guys, on Wednesday, whatever Wednesday is, the 16th, I believe, I'll be doing a live AMA or Ask Me Anything. It'll just be a live stream on the YouTubes of just me answering questions. Maybe Laura will chime in for a little bit if she's free, but it'll be about an hour long, maybe 2 hours long, of just asking me questions, and I'll answer them. It'll just be like a little live stream. So feel free to tune in, guys. It'll just be on my YouTube channel, and that's gonna happen at we're on Eastern time, so 6 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. It's up to you to figure out when that is in your time zone. So there you go.